Third time's a charm, as they say. And we are back here for our final attempt to get racing here in Melbourne. Just so you're aware, if you're listening there at home, we have turned the formation lap off, so fingers crossed we will get rid of that glitch. Red flags have also been turned off. You're in for a completely dry race. And remember that you've got free choice of tyres, but do allow people time to get their setups ready, because it is no fun having to drive in a car that feels like a shopping trolley with a wonky wheel because you've got one of the default settings on. And joining me, a man whose food is increasingly on a deadline and will be here any second, so do excuse him if there's a couple of munching noises during the race. It's the man himself. It's Simba. Simba, how are you doing?
I'm pretty good. Fed up with these glitches and hoping we actually get a race this time.
Yeah, it's always something new, isn't there? We're always finding something different for how the game can go wrong, be it red flags, be it tyres not warming up, and now this lovely let's disqualify a lot of the race before it's even started. It's a bit rubbish, so fingers crossed, toes crossed, everything's crossed that we can go racing, and here we are on the grid. 4 lights, 5 lights, and we hold. And we're away, and they went where the red lights went, and more importantly, nobody has DSQ'd yet, so I'm calling that a win. DRS Neil is sprinting off into the league, and it's the other German, Confetti Craig, into second place. He's got a much better start than he has in previous ones. Really nailed that, and it's going to be Chris and Xavier, third and fourth, as they head down to the first corner. Confetti eyeing up a move on DRS Neil. Is he going to make it? No, he's not. He just keeps line astern. One person had a bit of a bad start. Kid Dynamite seems to be fending off G-Star at the back. Got a lot of racing happening all up the field. Let me just get all the details up as we got it. The tyre data, the lap data, the track map, so we can see how everybody's doing. But yeah, there's a big gap there between Kid Dynamite and another weird mix of soft and mediums as well.
Although, quite impressively, everybody's still racing. We've had no incidents, no disqualifications. This is a win.
It is a win, and tell you who else has got a win there. It's Chris Bailey, who's made the move, or is trying to make the move with Confetti Craig. Those two are going side by side, but he's offline. Is he going to lose 2 spots there? He's going side to side with his German compatriot, but he has to leave the space. And through goes Xavier. So Confetti Craig had an excellent start of P2, now finds himself down in P4.
You know, he really sounded like Alonso then. You must leave the space.
You must leave the space, and he did. That's what we like to see. There are yellows, a yellow flag back in caution number 3. Don't know if it's Dennis Hornet who's had a bit of a moment, but no safety car out yet, thankfully. We've got RFC Danny eyeing up a move at the back there. Sorry, as I pressed the wrong L2 button, but he has gone past 38.
Yep, Dumbest Hornet's currently pitting.
And it's Johnny Smooth on 38. He's going for the inside move. And again, he's getting very close to running the bashing wheels. He goes off. He's gone for a run in the car park, and he gets 3 seconds for his trouble. The game being very harsh there, and he just hasn't got any traction. He's going to be swallowed up from the car behind us. 38. Who's
and
out?
A safety car.
Safety car already. So we have set them to reduce, but still, if you put a car into the wall, that is going to bring it out. So that's Rishi, one of our new drivers, down in P19. That will be the end of his race for him. 3 attempts, and fortunately never saw it past lap 2. So fingers crossed you get a bit of better luck next time. It's time for the field to balance out, and hey, we can just be happy that we are finally racing. And what a first couple of laps that was. I said overtaking was going to be difficult round here, but these drivers don't seem to care.
No, they really don't. Especially these guys at the front, they are just going for it.
They are obviously up the top as well. We were focusing on a lot of battles. Xavier got past Chris Bailey, so I think that's what we really wanted to see, those 2 soft runners go at it, hammer and tong. Because in the previous few races, DRS Neil was up the road, wasn't he? He was 1.5 seconds away. Now he's going to have Xavier to contend with, and we all know how scary that can be with the sight of the German in your mirrors.
Oh, yeah, I mean, he's great to race with, but he does not give you a minute's rest.
No, and that's just what you want, isn't it? You want drivers that are hard and fair, and those are sort of, they'll hound you through the corners, right? Just waiting for you to make a mistake, because, you know, we're not esport drivers, we're not perfect, we're not Jono Otmir. There's a chance that if you just put somebody under pressure and you're always there, it only takes one wheel in the wrong place and you lose a bit of time. And Xavier's one of those drivers, his car's on rails, isn't it? He'll pounce when the opportunity comes.
He certainly will. You make the slightest error, lose even half a tenth and he's past you. And he's waving thank you on his way past.
Yes, I love the helmet design as well. I don't know if the design of the car is still designed by his girlfriend, but he's representing as well. Lovely German flag livery there, so nice to see. I'm just going, we've got a couple of drivers at the back of the grid who've decided to pit, so that includes 38 Scottish Ninja and Dummies Hornet going for a second visit. Not quite sure what tyres he started on, but he put on a pair of hards, went for a lap and said, you know what, actually I think I'll go back on the mediums, thank you very much. So
I wonder if he had that glitch where it doesn't fix your damage.
Possible. So
because he'd had a spin, he didn't have anything visual, but that happens a lot in this game now.
Yeah.
But he pitted, put on a set of hards after one lap, screams to me that he has had damage, but then it's only been yellow damage, so the game won't automatically change it for you.
That is frustrating. And damage does really affect your car in this game as well. I've picked up a little bit during some of my sort of like career races, and it's no fun missing a bit of your front wing. You do want that changed as soon as possible, but it does mean that we will get another lap of racing around here. Sorry, another lap behind the safety car. Going down through the field. Who are the ones to look out for still? Talk about cream rising to the top. I mean, look at that top 7. Not a slow driver among them, is there?
No, DRS Neil's a bit of an unknown, but the other 6 we all know are absolutely rapid.
Yeah, formidable racers and all ready to go at it, hammer and tong, around this cracking Aussie circuit. I talked about it a bit before in qualifying. Odd circuit for me, unique challenge, never one I've felt entirely comfortable with. Is it one of your favourites, or is this one that you sort of dread coming up on the calendar?
I used to really like it if you go back to say 2010 game, but on the modern games I've always struggled to find the right balance with it. I do like this newer layout, but it's always been a track I'm very unlucky at.
Yeah, it does seem, I think maybe one of the things that kind of is a bit deceptive about this track, I compare it to Canada in a way, where you feel you can go really fast and you don't feel like it's a street track, so you're not in the mindset of like a Monaco or a Baku, but you can see on that shot there, the walls are, feet away. And instead of a nice bit of like tarmac that you've got at Monaco or some barriers, instead you've got a little bit of grass, and you touch that and it'll just spear you into the wall. So in a way, I'd say it's more treacherous than some of the street tracks.
It can be. This is the corner I really don't like.
Which one, the 910?
Yeah, that fast chicane, I just do not get on with it. Whereas Canada, I absolutely love Canada.
910 is a risk-reward corner in its entirety. Like, if you can nail that every lap and get through there quickly, it feels beautiful, and you'll make tenths of a second up on somebody who isn't very confident through there. But if you're not confident, or you've been in there in practice and you're the kind of driver who's gone wide and you've lost the rear end and smashed into the wall a couple of times, that's when your confidence just goes, and that's when this track becomes a nightmare. DRS Neil, has he gone already? He's looking quite racy. Yes, he has.
That's very early, but...
Oh, no, he's sort of kept it in.
He's had a 5-second penalty for collision with single track.
Oh, we might have to look at that one later, but it is DRS Neil up at the front there, but a little bit of a run, but Saviour's just behind. This is what we want to see. Remember, DRS won't be available until a couple of laps, and one man who's trying to stay in that train is Chris Bailey, who's only 0.5 off.
Kid Dynamite's out!
Kid Dynamite's out, there's a yellow. Saviour's thinking about the move, but oh goodness me, that's a shame for Kid Dynamite. I know he's taken the time out, but at least he'll be able to look after the baby now. Silver linings and all that, but that is a shame to lose one of our quickest, and it's brought out the virtual safety car.
Hopefully it stays as only a virtual, because it looks like they've cleared it off.
It has. It is all gone. I don't know. There's no cars at the back. Kid Dynamite leaving the session, so neutralises the field, but not that much. Confetti Craig may be the one who's in a bit of no man's land there. Look at the gap between Chris Bailey in front and G-Star behind. He's making that up now. Maybe he had a bit of a delta issue as he's back. Must have been something. I mean, Kid Dynamite was around about with G-Star in the field, so maybe that incident, that's what's caused that big gap. And he'll want to get up the road. At least he is on the softs, so he can catch up to the medium runners.
Yeah, hopefully we can have this virtual gone so we can actually get some racing.
Yes, has been a stunted start to the Grand Prix, 2 unofficial red flags, and now a safety car and a virtual. But as we make our way around the final corners, I'm hoping and praying that it won't be too long until we see some racing again.
Chris is looking very racy at the moment, and DRS Neil's pitted.
He has. Maybe he's seen an opportunity there. I did say that the 2-stop wasn't the worst around here, that there's only about 4 seconds difference in it if you go soft, medium, medium. Those mediums will have to go a bit sooner.
There we go, we're going.
There's the green. There's a yellow right at the back of the field, though. Don't know what's happened if that's Smith, who's had a bit of an incident. But DRS Neil, from the lead of the race, he had it sewn up. Now finds himself in 16th. He'll have to fight his way through the pack.
Certainly will, which isn't the easiest of things to do, so it's an interesting option. I would have thought go for the hards at this point.
Well, hards might go all the way. It is bizarre to me that you would sacrifice that much track position when nobody else is doing it. And I said that the mediums might be racing, and he's certainly quick, but that's not going to eliminate 14 cars in front of him. They will slow him up. He will feel that, considering how quick he's been. It's just a question of how much time he loses and where he comes out in the shuffle. Once these top 2, once say you do the likes of Chris Bailey, Pitt, I wonder if he will be anywhere near those top 3.
So a quick look and see if we've got any YouTube comments, and obviously good evening to everybody watching.
Yeah, thank you if you have stayed with us this long. I know it's our 3rd attempt, so we're very, very grateful if you've been able to find us 3 times. I'm going to stick on board with RFC Danny. It's our closest battle here. He's looking all at the backside of LRL. RFC Danny on the softs, LRL on the hards. Be quite the move if he gets it done into the first corner here. LRL is no slouch, but it is a fastest lap for the man in the Golf McLaren livery car.
Yeah, it was a bit of a I want the fastest lap, no I want the fastest lap, no I want the fastest lap.
Yeah.
About 4 or 5 of them got it there. Started with Saviour and just bumped down. I saw G-Star got it for a few seconds, then Danny took it.
Do wonder how many people are sort of spending quite a bit of their ERS. They'll have been frustrated for 6 or 7 laps. They wouldn't have been able to have a chance to spend it under so much safety car. So yeah, why not do it now and get a fast lap while your tyres are fresh? Field starting to spread out a little bit here. I'm going to stick on board with the Aussie grip man himself, Single Track, who's going side by side with the new EFC Stewart. Look as they come round the corner there. He was behind, but as he comes out, he's in front. And he's secured that move. Will EFX get his chance to get some own back as we go into this sector of the track? No, because there is 1 DRS zone, remember. So if you get that move done earlier on the straight, you get a second dose for free, even though you're in the lead. So Single Track knows the track quite well, knows his limits, and he's up into 7th place.
So them 2 zones are like the start-finish straight and between turns 2 and 3. It's
Yes.
a double helping.
Yeah.
So there's 4 zones, but it's only 2 detections.
Yes, I'm on board with Lorpy. We've got LRL, who's somehow got past G-Star. I didn't think he was that close behind, but he has. I'm going to see if Lorpy's going to go for the move. That was a big defensive move by Johnny up front. It went right and then left, so nothing happening. Those 2 stay exactly as they were. Getting pretty racy here, and DRS Neil, who came out in 16th place. Look at that. He's going to make his way past Scottish Ninja. But it's been, what, 1-2 laps now? He's only made up 1 place. Really, was it the right decision to go on a fresh pair of mediums that early?
Possibly not. I mean, the softs are going to start dying off soon, and they're going to want to pit.
They are.
So that should hopefully give him some free positions.
Oh.
Chris Bailey's just taken the lead.
He has. We were on board for that. Talking about the softs going off. And remember, he's going to get the double dose of DRS again. So Saviour's going to try and fight back this position, but I think, just particularly we were talking earlier off camera about how powerful the DRS is this year. It is a super benefit, isn't it, to get it twice?
Yeah, I mean, that when they rejigged the track layout, they did put that DRS zone in, but in 2022 they disabled it, saying that it was too much DRS. And I think I kind of agree with them. I think 4 is too much.
Yeah, I mean, overtaking around here was always a bit of a problem. They've tried to eliminate it, but that's the ever-long question in Formula 1. Can you have too much overtaking? For me, the answer is no. I like to see cars go side by side, but maybe it's talk about cars going side by side. Look at that DRS Neil up into 12th. So we started the last lap back in 16th. He's already made up 4 positions. He is the man.
Fastest lap to boot.
Yeah, he's the man to watch. But single track and EFX, they're going at it again. Single track up into 6th position. These two, you can't keep them apart.
And Danny trying to join in on the action as well.
It is.
Another driver where you give him a sniff and he will try and take it.
Yeah, I'm going to just stick on board with a DRS for the time being. Maybe the one benefit he's got, there's a little bit of a train forming now, but he seems absolutely glued to this track. A lot of traffic in front of him, and Lorpy and Donny, we've seen them battle side by side before. He doesn't want to get caught up in anything. 3 cars all line astern. Is he going to make a move as we head down into turn 10? It's just defending from these guys. And remember, Neil might be quicker, but these guys don't have to get out of the way. There's a bit of wheel banging there, but he's going to force his way up around the inside. Lorpy doesn't want to give it away. There is a yellow back in sector 3, but it is just a yellow, no safety car for the moment.
Looks like Dummy's Hornet possibly has had a moment.
Again, that's been...
He's just lost 5 seconds to 38.
Oh, it's a tough race for him so far, isn't it? He's been really struggling. And
here comes Neil again on Donny.
He is. That is just a textbook move. I don't know what wings he's running on that car, but in a straight line, even when all cars have DRS available, just seems to go faster.
He's definitely got some low wings on that because they both had DRS and he still made it look easy.
He certainly has. Now he's all over the back of Johnny Smooth. I don't think this is going to last. Up the top there, we missed that, but Saviour, we saw Chris Bailey going to lead. Saviour's taken that back pretty sharpish. Oh, there's a car off in the background!
That's Donny.
Yeah.
No front wing.
He did exactly what I said. He just got it a tad wrong and onto the grass, and he was through one of the barriers, lost his front wing. But I tell you who's unconcerned about that, DRS Neil, who is up into 9th. But Saviour and Bailey are going at it. There's 3 of them now. Look at this as we head down into the final sector. Saviour's somehow come out ahead, and the other German is fighting with Bailey here. Hill, Schumacher vibes, and maybe a little dash of Heinz Harold Frentzen in there as well, taking back to the 90s.
The good old 90s. Some great battles back then. Dumbest Hornet's retired. That's a crash coming out of 10 and 11. 9-10 is it? The fast one, and a safety car.
It might be reduced, but they will still come out for crashes, so this is
perfect for the soft runners.
It is time for the softs to come in, time for the medium runners to come in, and tell you what, we were saying
38 drive-through penalty.
Oh, bit
5-second speeding in the pit lane.
Gosh, it's like Austria, isn't it? You have a penalty, you have a penalty, you have a penalty.
Oh, that was ridiculous. Absolutely insane. They give Ocon that many penalties after the race. He's now right back at Hungary 2021, winning his first race again.
He is. I don't know. He'll probably be happy about that to take his first win again. But yeah, it is absolutely crazy. So unfortunately, we do have another safety car. So I think everybody, everyone from EFX Stewart down has pitted onto a fresh set. So I think that's about where the safety car came out. These guys at the front were well past the pit lane, but I think we're going to see all of them to a man pit. Apart from, I wonder what DRS Neil is going to do. He's in 7th place. Those mediums are 5 laps old. He can't go to the end, can he? So, fresh pair of hards, or does he stick it out?
Considering we've had a couple of safety cars so far, I'd probably risk sticking it out.
Yeah.
Use the chance to try and get as far up front as you can. Track position is vital usually. And hope for a safety car later and jump onto a pair of softs.
Let's see what he does. He is going into the pits, so yeah, no, he's decided he wants to push for a boost.
He might have a fresh set of mediums.
There are 2 sets of mediums available. He did start on the softs, so let's see what he takes. We'll stay on board. Oh, there was somebody blocking his pit box, but thankfully they've got out the way. Off go the softs and on go the hards. So he is planning to go to the end on that set, as are a lot of people in front of him. The only person to really stick on the mediums is G-Star in 5th. So we're going to watch at the start, but I do wonder if they can go 17 laps and feel anywhere near nice enough to drive.
Yeah, unfortunately I haven't done enough. Well, I haven't done any practice yet. I was a little bit busy last night, so I missed practice. I was waiting to pick my car up from my mechanic. And then by the time I got that done, I was like, I really can't be bothered to go practice now. I'll just do it over the weekend.
I'm going to go on to my track guide just to see what it says. So yeah, so the possible one-stop strategies around here: softs for 12, mediums for 17. That's a 39.24. Softs for 11, hards for 18, a 139.26. And the medium 2 hards, 14 laps on the medium, 15 on the hards, is a 139.24. So actually, the strategy guide there suggesting that mediums very much will go till the end, the 17, so isn't the maddest strategy out there. But I do think those hards will be feeling a lot better.
The hards will definitely feel better towards the end of the race. But it's whether the hards can stay enough in contention with the mediums.
Yeah. We will see. I think the one thing the hard runners have in their benefit is there's a huge clump of them. If there was one hards and loads of mediums, then they'd be in trouble.
Yeah, safety car's coming in.
Okay, we will go on board.
Racing.
So, 2 red flags, a safety car, a virtual safety car, another safety car. We've got 17 laps. Let's make these clean, let's make these safety cars free, and let's go racing. When is Sadie going to put the pedal down? There he goes, already down, revving the almighty... I want to say a bad word there, but I didn't.
Pitted.
He has. That's a mad decision, I feel. He was so much in contention.
Wing change.
Oh, goodness me, that's so unfortunate if he's picked up a bit of damage somewhere along the way. But that's just really played into Saviour's hands. Look at the gap there, 0.8 seconds between him and Bailey. Bailey, we're having flashbacks back to Brazil.
Smith's retired. Another safety car.
Oh.
Single track's out.
They must have come together, right, or something. Where are they on track? Their single track is in the wall. Oh, goodness me! I'm on board with Donny. He's just done a George Russell as well. He's just lost it into the wall. Look at that. Half a car in the wall, no front wing. That is an absolutely catastrophic safety car start. Look at that. We've restarted this race twice because 5 drivers decided to disqualify off the start. And after 13 laps, we are now missing 6 of the drivers who started this race. One at lap 13. Unlucky for some, eh?
Certainly is. I mean, that was just mental. We've just lost 3 drivers in a couple of corners. It's not often we see that.
No, it isn't. I'm trying to see who might pit there. The only person I can really look at is Scottish Ninja, who stayed out on a set of 10 lap old hards last time I was him. I would go into the pits, but he's not me indeed, and he says no, I know better, I'm going to stay out on these hards. RFC Danny into the pit, so I wonder, is that going to be any front wing? I'll stick on board with him. It does look like they've got a nice bit of brand new carbon fibre to stick on the front of that car, so that's why he's in. He'll be moving to the medium tyres. Johnny Smooth. Oh, he started on the softs last time, so bold strategy there from the current MRC Challenger tier leader. They'll need a lot more laps under safety cars if those are going to go the distance. 12 laps, it's the recommended distance. That will mean they'll have to have 3 very dicey and icy laps at the end.
Well, at least it's not like the F1 23 cars where your tyre wear's dependent on what team you're with.
Is it? I hadn't heard that before. Please tell me about this brand new information.
I'm sure you've heard about it. Discord was lit up with it for days.
It was.
But apparently it's something in the coding. Apparently it's been there for ages, but the new handling model is exaggerating it a bit. So if you're in a Red Bull, you're really lucky. Your tyres will last forever. If you're in a Ferrari or a Ferrari engined car, then forget it, you're pitting more often, or you're using harder compounds.
Yeah, I mean, to me, I do a hand wave away of it because I'm not that quick to be consistent. Setups choose so much difference in tyre wear as well, so you can't hold it on board. And also the fact, like you say, it's always been there and nobody's had this conspiracy theory before now. You know, nobody's sort of snuck in. I know you say that the handling model means it is slightly exaggerated this year, but I think if you had a look at the results over the tiers that we had on this week, knowing that it's still there,
It's not really shown itself too much, has it?
Correct, exactly. It's not like we've got Red Bull 1-2s every week and the Ferraris are finishing at the back of the grid. In fact, I seem to remember a certain Italian driver in Tier 1 last season didn't seem to care about the tyre wear at all if it existed, as he romped away with the Tier 1 title. So I think it just goes to show that skill is a little bit more important than
I think
any
on
sort of minor tyre.
Our level, it's not as noticeable as it is on, say, esports level.
Yeah, no, I can understand Jarno Opmeer and that wanting every little thing to be exactly the same. So, yes,
I mean, personally, I have always thought, even on equal performance, the cars do not drive exactly the same. And I always thought I was mad for thinking it. But apparently there is some slight truth in it, but it was nothing major.
Yeah.
Maybe just a slight tweak on the setup here and there. And it worked. But obviously now it's been over-exaggerated. A lot of the big leagues, like, is it World of Racing or whatever, have all gone to player cars for now. To equal out the tyres.
Yes, and I think, sometimes it matters. We are a league where we want fair, safe racing, but we're racing for fun. There's no prize pool at stake, is there? It is just sort of respect. So maybe if there was, 100 quid on the table, I would have a bit more of a problem with it. But as it is fairly minimal. And as we can see tonight, even if you put people in F1 World Cars, there's still a variety of things that can happen up and down the field. Safety car will be in this lap, so after my plea for 17 laps of clean racing, we've had 3 more under the safety car. Fingers crossed we can get the second half of this race with no more incidents.
I hope so, because my food's going to be here soon.
It is. When it comes, you can dash away, that's fine. I'm going to look at a few drivers to watch out for at the start. Scottish Ninja will be one. He's on 12-lap old hards. I wonder if there'll be a bit of a cork in the bottle to those behind who will want to get past. Amongst that group is DRS Neil, who is on 3-lap old hards. He's on exactly the same strategy now as those top 3, who are all very, very quick. He'll want to make his way up to the pack as quickly as possible. For those 3 up top, run away fast, because DRS Neil has proven himself to be absolutely no slouch. We are going to go on board though with Saviour, who is away and he's gone there. He's going to cross the line. Still flashing, but he's caught Bailey sleeping a little bit there. Chris Bailey making up the space, but no, it's absolutely fine. And we seem to, fingers crossed, have got through those first few corners incident free. Very well done, everyone.
Yeah, we seem to be alright at the moment, which is good. I would like no more safety cars if possible.
All calm up the front, so I am going to stick on board. As I said, Scottish Ninja, really those tyres aren't going to do the business. Remember that there is no DRS yet, so he's going to have to keep it on track, but he ran a little bit wide there, and it's a great move from the new man, EFX, who takes his chance. And yes, he is up into 5th place. Sorry, Scottish Ninja was all over the place. Looked like he was going to lose the back end for a second, but it wasn't to be. And now it is up to the man who we said has all the pace at the moment, our pole sitter, DRS Neil. Can he get the move done nice and quickly? And just look at the difference in speed there. He breezes past Scottish Ninja as if he wasn't there. And I think maybe Scottish Ninja made the right move just to get out the way. He doesn't want that behind him for another 3 laps.
That was very effortless from DRS Neil there.
It was.
It's like candy from a baby.
It was. So, yeah, once again, as Scottish Ninja continues to fall like a stone on these old tyres, I'm going to stick on board with Lorpy. Is Lorpy going to take his next victim, or is Scottish Ninja going to fight this one as well? They're going side by side into turn 1. Lorpy's already got the move done, and there's another car behind him. That's Bitt. He's getting involved in the action as well. He's just offline, and it's going to be Biff who makes the move. Why, we might be going 3 wide here into Tier 4. Look at this. There's so many cars on track. There's a little bit of contact behind. There's front wing lost, I think, there from Biff behind. And it's Bitt who takes advantage in that old-fashioned style Ferrari livery. Look at that lovely burgundy. He's up into 8th place. Excellent run there. Great bit of opportunism.
That's not really worked out well for Biff. He's going to have to pit for a new wing now.
It hasn't. And as we were looking at that chaos behind, we have a new race leader in Chris Bailey. Chris Bailey and Saviour, I take my eyes off them for a second, and they just have a right old ding-dong up the front of this race. Neither of them wants to give it up, and boy, this is becoming an MRCX rivalry for the ages. Do these two ever give each other a quiet day.
No, they are like this at every race. It's like you could put a lasso around the pair of them. You just can't separate them.
It is insane, but Bailey knows that every point counts this season. He doesn't want to get pegged back like he did last season. Stop reminding about it. He won't want me talking about it, but I'm going to anyway. And now the DRS is enabled, so he can defend from Saviour for a little while. I do wonder, we are going to keep it quiet, but we don't know their ERS levels. I think that's going to become really important towards the end of this race and conserving it. Is Saviour going to make a move as we head into turn 4? Looking at the outside and almost has to back out of that as he goes into the back of Bailey. Bailey has the line though through this sector, and it means that LRL, who is no slouch, is now all up behind them. And I think all this battling between them is just going to bring drivers like DRS Neil back into the mix, who, as we suspected, is up into P5 already.
His next target's not an easy one though, it's G-Star.
G-Star.
One of the title contenders from last season, and Saviour's just taken the lead again under the DRS.
He is. We've been talking about how powerful that DRS is through here, and it's the double dose. He's going to get the first double dose. So that flap will be wide open again, and this is where Bailey will just be cursing. He'll want a skinnier car. It doesn't seem to matter too much. He is keeping up, and he will have another bite of the cherry to head into the next DRS zone at the start-finish straight.
He needs to keep up or LRL's going to pounce all over him.
Yes.
He's just sat behind waiting for them two to collide so he can go, thank you, I'll have the lead.
Give it a stick on board now. Quite the train forming behind there. It's just DRS Neil behind, who I wonder if he'll be able to choo join onto this train as well. Those flaps open behind, but Saviour has it on rails. And these, like, you know, we talked about esports before, weren't quite esports level. These top 4 are looking esports level at the moment. It's an excellent range of consistent driving, and I'm afraid Scottish Ninja's decided that he's had enough of those hards, he's had enough of being fast, and he'll be on to the softs. Softs will go 10 laps, so that's not a bad move from him. Fingers crossed he can catch up to the rest of the field now.
And Biff's actually kept going with the wing damage, interestingly enough.
And maybe it wasn't that much. It did hard to see any visuals, but like you say, that is hard on this game. So what's happened? Bailey hasn't quite got the space there to get all the way behind Saviour. So that double dose of DRS is not going to be repeated. So I'm going to head back down the field. Confetti Craig, who had that unfortunate incident, he had to pit, didn't he? The start of that other safety car. He went early. We all thought it was a bit strange. He's fought his way back up into 7th place now on a pair of mediums that should see him to the end. Past he goes from Lorpy, so we'll be eyeing up his next target. EFX Stewart, only 3 seconds up the road. You can make that up quite well. And those mediums, of course, are 2 laps fresher. We've got a yellow in Sector 3. Can't see what that's going on there for. There might have been a little incident. Oh, it's Lorpy. Lorpy's round. That is a shame, but he's put the car back in the right direction, but at the moment he is out of the top 10. Unfortunate, as he was doing all right there for a moment.
Luckily no safety car from it though.
Yeah, thankfully for once. I mean, the safety car seems to be fairly consistent, at least, that if we get a car retiring, it will come out. If it doesn't, then it will keep it off track, which I think is the way that it should be, or at least is less sensitive than it was on standard. I will just double check the settings before we go back in, just to double check that we've got it on the right. These 4 up top though, I don't know if you've got your food now, but if you have, just tuck into this absolutely feast of F1 racing as I go back down the field. It is Chris Bailey.
Just taking the lead back off Saviour.
Yeah, fantastic move again. These two are saying, right, I want the double dose of DRS. If I'm going to make the move, maybe spend a bit of ERS in that sector just before 8, 9, 10. And it appears to be working well. I think there's going to be a couple of tactics in this race. Do you want to be in the lead in that sector going to lap 29, or do you want to have a bit of gamesmanship and just make sure that you are in the right place at the right time?
Yeah, that's the key really, isn't it? That's what the esports drivers do. They try and sit behind until the very last lap, save some ERS and just spend it all in one lap and go, thank you, I want it. Saviour's coming back at him though. He
is. He doesn't want to wait for that zone. He says, I don't care. If there's an opportunity to pass, I will. And that looked effortless up into P1. Bailey managing to keep it in P2. That's the crucial thing. If you don't have DRS and when you've got this train of cars behind you, it takes some skill to make sure that you don't suddenly get 2, 3 cars past you. But, you know, Bailey is better than that 3-second score. Scottish Ninja, unfortunately, on those softs, but pushing hard. Just bring up the penalties quickly as we see G-Star on 3, EFX on 6, obviously Danny on 9, and we've got a smattering of 5s and 6s. But look at this battling that's going on at the back. G-Star now deciding that he wants a piece of the action and a double dose of DRS. He'll get it anyway, but it's LRL who loses out, and Bailey doesn't quite have enough to get the move done. Xavier seems to get it done more consistently through that sector than Bailey does.
Yeah, and G-Star's starting to look very racy at the moment. So the blowhole has really got to watch his rear end here.
He has. He's still on those mediums, remember, and I do wonder what difference those tyres will start to make. Bailey is just, he sort of loses a little bit through that final sector and then gains it, of course, as he gets the DRS down this front straight. So that was a gap of 0.6, closed up to 0.3 now. Confetti, Craig and Stewart going at it, but Confetti is the faster driver. We know that for the time being, and he made that move long before turn 1. So excellent move from him. He's got 5 seconds up the road now to his next target, DRS Neil, who, as we said, the gap was about 3.5. That gap's slowly coming down each lap. I reckon by lap 25, 26, we could see him join this pack of 4 at the front, and then, boy, is it going to get tasty.
Although crucially for G-Star, he's got a 3-second penalty.
Yeah, that's the shame. Like, when you find yourself in those situations, all you can do is get your head down and race. You don't want to concede places. You just say, right, okay, I've got to go up top and try and make my move done as quickly as possible. But he is giving Bailey a bit of problem, and I wonder if it's the pressure now being applied from the Dutchman that means Bailey isn't able to really pressure Xavier like he wants to.
Yeah, Xavier really seems to have the better of him in especially sector 3. Although the end of sector 2 as well, that turn 9 and 10, Xavier is just so planted through there. He seems to be able to carry more speed. Yeah, it's just the low speed corners at the moment, isn't it? And yeah, look at that gap. I said it was about 0.6 last lap, up to 0.8 this time, and Bailey does have to be careful that that German just doesn't slip away. He'll have to be pushing so hard, but we don't know how many warnings they've got, track warnings. He could be one away. He might be so scared of getting a 3-second penalty that maybe second place is all he has to settle for tonight. And I said lap 25, 26, that shark at the back in that Audi livery, boy, he could join the back of this pack. That end of this lap, maybe. He might have 6 bites of the cherry. So, I also think Chris is trying to save some ERS to some extent and make Xavier spend his.
Yeah, that is another very good tactic. I assume that they've been using the speeds that have been passing each other, particularly in this middle sector. You must have to spend ERS and DRS. Those used in combination on this game are insanely powerful this year. Your straight line speed is dangerous, but just be aware that you throw the anchors out as well, because your braking point, it will change. So luckily nobody's ploughed into the back of anybody else, and I do wonder now, G-Star seems to be the one suffering. That gap between him and Bailey up to over a second now as they cross that DRS line. I think it's there, so I wonder if G-Star's going to get any DRS.
Xavier got very slidey out of the last corner.
He did. And yeah, my suspicion was right. G-Star just fell out of that DRS zone, so now that 4-horse race might be becoming a 2-horse race up the front. As, boy, we were saying Bailey was out of it a lap ago. Now, far from it, as he might be making a move. Look at this, Xavier is so good at where he positions that car. He just lets his car drift across into exactly where the racing line would be, and it's so difficult. Unless you've got a wheel beside him, you aren't going to get him into that corner, so Bailey has to pull out and just settle for second at the moment.
Without going into numbers, I've had a look at the ERS. A few laps ago, Chris was relatively low and Xavier had absolutely loads. Now it's pretty even.
That's just what we see.
Xavier's been spending his to stay ahead.
Well, he'll have to spend it a little bit more because Bailey's decided now he wants to cash in, and he's gone ahead. So as we said, he's got that first blast of DRS, now the second, and he will want to stretch that lead as much as possible. Look it go up in the left-hand corner there. It was 0.3 up to 0.45, but we've said Xavier very good through this last section, and he'll be able to draw this Bailey gearbox from memory because he's not letting him escape.
Certainly not. Chris has had a pretty good final sector though. The gaps stayed relatively the same.
He has, but get your party poppers out, get your blowers, get whatever you like to have when there's a bit of music. Somebody's joined the dance floor, and it is DRS Neil. He was, oh goodness, sorry, he was within a second. And yes, as you can see there, he's got the DRS now. He is well and truly in this train, and he could make things interesting, or at least a little bit dicey, I think, for those drivers in third and fourth. But boy, if he makes it up to third, then I want to see that battle between Bailey Saviour and DRS Neil, given how quick all three of those have been already.
I think he'll make it to third anyway, based on the time penalties of the two above him.
Oh yes, he will, but that's a very good point. Those two now got 3 seconds. I didn't see LRL getting the 3, so third is on the cards. He's our, remember, I'm talking about him as the race winner. He is our MRCX Challenger driver tonight, so I think he's got that win in the bag. But can he prove even more? He's even a better driver than we thought tonight and get on the overall podium. Chris Bailey up top there. He's doing all right as well. That gap up to 0.7 down the straights. He's banging in the lap times.
Certainly is, and EFX Stewart will take second in Challenger on what I believe to be his debut race. That's
excellent. That's just how you want to start your MRCX career. Get a good result under your belt early and know that you've got the pace to really challenge. A lot to be proud there. So thank you for joining us tonight. The field very spread out now. Now look, without any safety cars, you can see those gaps approaching. A lot of drivers just having their own race. So the real battles now are up top. Saviour and LRL, who's got his own dose of DRS. He's going to go around the outside of the Dutchman. They're going to go wheel to wheel. He's got to leave the space. He's forced off track there. I think G-Star was ahead enough to allow that to happen, but boy, these two no, he concedes the place. Very fair from the Dutchman there. He knew what he'd done, and he said, no, fair enough, I'm going to let you go up the road. So that's the sportsmanship we want to see. LRL up into third on the road, but remember, he has those penalties. Oh, goodness me!
Stewart's out!
We were just talking about how well he was doing, how he had to run his own race, and let's see where he is on track. I think we're going to see...
That's a safety car.
It is. Going to see if I can see where it is in the wall. I can see it, Captain.
38's just got to drive through the speed limit on the safety car.
Again, he just doesn't seem to have his limiter on board at the moment, does he? So I saw him slam on the anchors, so that's probably what he was trying to avoid. So, late safety car drama around here. It does this in this game. Lap 26 of 29. We're going to get, what, a lap under the safety car, then 3 laps of madness at the end? I've seen some pointless safety cars.
Saviour's pitted.
Ooh, goodness me. Okay. And
Chris
LRL
Bailey
has
stayed out. Saviour's pitted.
Right, so this is crucial. What's the gap? So Confetti Craig is in as well. RFC Danny. Now, it's all about...
Everybody's going in.
Well, I think it's a... Okay, I'm going to mention something here, and you might not like it if you're a fan of a certain persuasion. Do you remember a certain race back in 2021, towards the end of the season?
I know which race you're on about.
Yeah,
yes,
yeah.
I remember it.
One of those. It was of a bit importance, and Bailey was sort of in an impossible position. He pits, the rest of the block go, thank you very much, no risk from me, I'll take track position, and all 5 of them do. He doesn't pit, and everyone behind decides to screw him over and puts on a fresh pair of softs. It is going to have to be a monumental effort from the blowhole if he is going to keep on to first, second, third. I think a podium is the best that he can do now, because there's a lot of very, very quick drivers behind him. 38 stays out as well on 17 lap old hards. I guess he's got the drive-through, so he won't be able to take that until the safety car ends. So his race might be over as a result of that unfortunate glitch there. Biff and Johnny Smooth also have come in. I reckon you're going to have to get a... Sorry, Morphy came in. Yeah, safety car is in this lap. So, as I predicted, we've got, what, lap 27 this. We are going to get 2 laps of racing at the end. And Bailey, well, nobody will have DRS for the rest of this race. So this might be his one saving grace. I wonder how much ERS everybody else will have around him, because they're going to be quick.
They certainly are. I think everybody's pretty much at 100% ERS now as well.
Yep.
Barring Confetti Krieg, 38, they haven't quite got it up yet. But a lot of the front runners are on 100%. Which is probably not what the blowhole wants to hear.
It isn't. So, we'll go on board. The big question is, when does the Mercedes man go? Can he do what his hero couldn't all those years ago and defend on a very worn set of boots? He's away. He's on the hards. Look at that. Look at how Saviour is already closing up on him. I think even if he got the jump on him, it was going to be a very hard ask. 2 laps of mad scramble at the end. 38 is falling on heels in the pits, of course, for a drive-through. Saviour's going to go for it right away, as he knows he's going for the outside. He's going for the inside. He takes the inside, and there is nothing Bailey can do. Look at the difference in traction there as the German sails on through, and now it's LRL's turn to go past Chris Bailey, who must feel like he's got lead in his shoes.
Oh, I mean, that was really reminiscent of the race you was on about as well.
It was. You can just see
that move happened rather quickly as well.
Yes, yeah, it just happened so straight away because it's about getting temperature into the tyres. There's so many other factors. I'm back here with the scrap between G-Star, DRS, Confetti, which are crucially for Bailey 1.5 seconds ahead. So maybe that's a good thing for him that can't get past.
Here comes the other German.
It is the side-by-side in that last corner. They've left just enough space, but again, Bailey, he just can't defend. He simply doesn't have the same traction out of the corners, and it is down into third. And oh dear, who's the man who's behind him? Who's the man who's made it through that bunch of 3 that were 1.5 seconds behind the man in third place? Now it's down to half a second. It's DRS Neil, and we've all seen how well he can overtake this race.
Yep, can he actually get himself up there?
He is so far up behind that gearbox. It must be spending everything, and he's gone one way, he's gone the other. It's the old 1-2. He's going to go for the inside line as well as they bump wheels. Bailey's desperate to keep it on board, and he's forced out of line. And does that mean Confetti Craig's going to go through? No, he slams the door shut, so at least he can save that position. But it was first, the start of lap 28. It's down to 4th for the Mercedes man as Confetti Craig are on board with him now. Look how close he's getting to the gearbox. Oh, the British man there. You can just see, look, the 1 second gap that's opening up. He is the cork in the bottle, and everybody else is fighting to get past before the laps run out. Confetti Craig's going to maybe go for the outside now. I thought they were going to go side by side through 9 and 10. You can't do that, lads, but that's the line to take for Confetti Craig. He's got the line in. He has to give space as well for Bailey, and it's so unfortunate. There's just nothing he can do. Through goes the German, and it is P5 on track. G-Star behind. There might be penalties that save him, though. I do wonder where LRL is going to come out in all of this. It's Saviour. I'm just going to go to the top. What a move it was. What a bold strategy it was to pit for soft at the end. He's across the line in first place. LRL in second, but we'll see where penalties shooting out. DRS up into second. Confetti Craig in fourth. Bailey in fifth. So LRL will hold on to that final podium spot in third. Got G-Star in sixth. Pitt in seventh. RFC Danny in 8th, Lorky across the line in 8th. He jumped positions because RFC Danny had a penalty. So it'll be Scottish Ninja in 10th, 5th in 11th. Oh no, 5th will go fall down to 12th after penalty applied. It'll be Johnny Smooth in 11th. And finally, the man who just seems to have no luck under the safety car in that sort of Haas-inspired car, Gunther Steiner, is going to smash his doors in because it is 13th place for 38. Oh boy, what a race that was, and how sorry do you have to feel for Blowhole? He's done everything right apart from the strategy at the end.
Yeah, a bad call that was, but you live and learn.
You do, and I do think it's a hiding to nothing there. I do think if he's on the softs and he switches, there's a couple of like 3 or 4 drivers that stayed out on the hards. They'd have a tough time getting past them if they're all bunched together. But yeah, when you're out there on your own, the only hard runner, it means that he is forced off the podium. So it is a very German looking podium up there today as we see Saviour take the top spot. Excellent run from him. Good showing from DRS Neil as well, who, remember, he is challenger tier, but they can prove the pace that he's ready to go up a couple of tiers if he's able to race like that. He comes in home in second, and it's LRL who will take the final spot in third. Who's your driver of the day? We haven't really discussed that, but anybody who really caught your eye?
I would say DRS Neil, but it seems like a boring choice after that performance. But it's a really impressive performance for his first time out as well.
It is very impressive from him. I'm just having a look at who's gone up the grid a lot. What I will say is Bit getting 7th in that race. He probably evens out and all the classes, but he kept his nose clean, was, never sort of involved in any big incidents, and to bring it home with no penalties as well, very respectable. So, good drive from Bit there. He's my shout out for the driver of the day. Thank you very much for all of you who stayed with us, even through the 3 red flags. Really appreciate your time tonight. We will see you again when MRCX is live on Monday, and we go around at this Melbourne track one more time. Join us then, and thanks for joining me, Simba. All right, take care.
Not a problem. Thanks for having us.
Cheers. Bye.